everyone doing? So tonight we're going to do our s'mores transfer. If I can get it going. If you're jumping on, say hi. There we go. How is everyone doing today? Oh, you guys can see all my shipping stuff. Oh well. I'm going to move you a little closer. There you go. Okay, so we'll go ahead while we got some people jumping on. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting some of this up. If you're jumping on, say hi. I didn't really move you any closer. Cleaning some squeegees real fast. Didn't realize I didn't have any clean. Sorry, I was a little late. Just gonna wait one more minute, see if anyone else jumps on. If you're jumping on, say hi. Just wiping off some squeegees here real fast and we'll get started. So tonight we're gonna do, this is our 18 by 24 inch I Love You S'more transfer. It is a great one to show a bunch of different effects. We're gonna do a hot mess. We're gonna do an ombre effect on it. There's layering. So much you can do with this one. I thought it was a great one to show you guys. Just got one more to clean. Sorry, I meant to do this before we got on live. I didn't realize I didn't have any clean. So this is how quick and easy it is to clean our squeegees too. If you guys do share, make sure to put s'more in the comments, or that you sprinkled it, or that you shared. And we will be doing our monthly giveaway for one 5x7 transfer and board. Let's see, so I'm going to go ahead and start cutting our pieces off here. We are going to have to do the pull up effect to where we are pulling up and drying as we go, since it is such a large transfer. This is also one of them that has the bullseyes, and it tells you which one you have to lay down first when you're layering. So it has the big pieces number 1, and then the bullseyes next to the actual sandwich. So you can also actually kind of cut this up more if you wanted to. Now I just like to cut them up on the lines, but you can actually cut in between these. Let's say you're putting it on more of an 18 by 18 board instead of 18 by 24 inch, and you're wanting to kind of rearrange it, you can easily cut these apart more. Okay, now that I got all of our pieces apart, we're going to go ahead and start with the largest piece first. I always like to make sure I check where my hanging is first. Let me just go ahead and share this out here a little bit so we can get some people on. That was not what I wanted to do. First time I've tried to share it on my laptop and it does not look the same. I don't want to say, I hate starting watch parties. They drive me crazy because I don't see the comments. Okay, well, hopefully we'll get some people on here. If you're jumping on, make sure to say hi. Share to the page. Yeah, it's not working. I don't see why I always have so much problems sharing. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start here. Did I freeze? No, I look frozen. Something went wrong. Oh, goodness. There we go. Okay. Okay. Whatever. We're going to go ahead and start. If you are jumping on and you wouldn't mind sharing that out there for me, I would really appreciate it. It just takes so much time when you're trying to do it yourself. And actually, I need to turn my volume down. My son had the computer earlier. Hey, Brittany. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and do our s'mores board. So like I said, if you are jumping on, if you wouldn't mind trying to spread that video out there for me. It is so hard to do while you're trying to do this. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and fuzz this transfer. This is the first time using this transfer. So I want to make sure that it doesn't overstick to our board. And like I said, we are going to, I always do this. I am the worst person about folding it in on itself. And that stretches your transfer and can ruin it. So you got to take it real slow, pulling it back apart. You would think I would learn, but I do it all the time. Okay, so we are going to move this down some, kind of in the middle. Oh, but we got the stick on the side, so we got to move it over to the side. Okay, so I'm not too worried about trying to press everything down right now because we are actually going to do this in sections. We're going to start with some white up at the top, and then we're going to do an ombre effect with the s'more. We're going to do some red, some tan, and then actually I think red and gray for that. So we're going to start with just some white up at the top. Hi, Heather. Hey, Jessica. So, but I am going to start here, and we're going to dry this in sections because I don't want it to stick into our transfer. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to start with our white, and I'm just going to kind of set these in front of me with the color squeegee so I don't Keep using all of them. And we're going to pull this up as we go and dry, just so that it doesn't dry too fast into the transfer. How's everyone doing tonight? If you guys are jumping on and you sprinkle the video out, make sure to put s'more into the comments to get you into the monthly drawing. I really appreciate when you guys do that. It's so hard for me to stop and do that, so. There we go. So now we're going to do an ombre effect. So ombre effect is kind of like a sunset. So you pick 2 or 3 colors. You want to make sure everything is laying real flat. So you pick 2 or 3 colors and kind of do them in a line. And then you blend them together a little bit. So I think I'm actually going to grab some yellow too. Grab some orangey yellow. And we are going to do, I think, red. I think I'm going to change it to tan. I was originally going to do gray, but I think we'll start with tan. Just going to make sure all 3 colors are kind of stirred up, so I don't want to have to stop in between. So for some reason my red is always very ruddy. So I'm going to go ahead and just make sure all the oils are stirred in. I'm going to make sure my tan is kind of chunky. Have that all stirred up. And then we'll stir up the yellow. So my yellow. So what's really great about our paste is we can actually add just some distilled water to them if they start drying out, and they will come right back. Sometimes it makes them a little chunky, but they still work just the same. Obviously, I don't use this one very often because it was really dry. Okay, so there we go. So my red is actually the thinnest, so I'm going to start with that one just because it will take more time to dry. So, and I don't want it to dry into the transfer before I can blend them together. So we'll go ahead and get our 3 squeegees out just so that we are ready to kind of make it as fast as possible. Because like I said, it won't ruin your transfer if the paste dries into them, but you might have some problems with your design and might have to do it again. So we're going to start here with an ombre effect. We're kind of going to do red at the bottom, and then I'm going to do some yellow in the middle, and then the cream on the top. Okay. And we'll grab our yellow here. Kind of just put a row of that in the middle. And then we will grab our cream. And put some of this up top. And you just want to kind of make sure that you leave a little bit of a thick towards the other color, because that's where you're going to be blending them all together. So you want to make sure that you leave a little bit of extra paste there so that your finger has something to blend with. I forgot to hit the apostrophe, so let's see here. There we go. We might erase that and just make it one color since it kind of is up at the top there. Okay, so now since I've got all my 3 colors on there, I'm going to use my finger and blend them together. And this is what gives you that ombre effect. And kind of like a sunset. It blends them together. I'm going to clean my finger off and move up to the top one and do the same thing. Okay, I'm just going to grab a squeegee and we're just going to clean the thing off. And then we will go ahead and dry it before we move on to the next chunk. I want to make sure before I move up to the yellow color, or I'm sorry, the cream color, that I have my squeegee completely clean. So you don't want to put that red up to the top. Hey Gabby, if you're still on. Okay, last little bit. And let's go ahead and pull this up before it dries too much. And there's our s'mores. Some of it pulled up just a little bit, so I just wanted to wipe that off real fast. See if that fixed it. And it did. So when I laid it back down, it kind of smeared it a little bit down at the bottom, but that's what we've got those Q-tips for. So we will be able to clean that right up. Because that red, my red is really kind of runny, so it is hard to work with sometimes. We'll go ahead and dry this off here. And then we'll touch up those smears when we're all done. I just want to make sure that this is dry enough so when I lay it back down, it doesn't cause any problems. That's what I like about these pastes. They are easily fixed when you make a mistake. Okay, so that is probably dry enough. So what I'm going to do for the marshmallows is we are going to do, it's kind of like an ombre effect as well. I'm going to make these actually white, but I think the one that is on the, that's going to go on the stick, we're going to do that one kind of an ombre where it looks like it's been toasted. So we're going to go ahead and just do these white this time. Am I? No, I'm not. This is going to be next to all this white. So we're going to do some white, and then I'm going to grab some of the coffee and put it into it as well. we're going to go ahead and hit this real fast and dry it, and then we'll do our marshmallows. How's everyone's Thursday going? The week is almost over. Finally, 3-day weekend. Looking forward to that. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this real fast so then we can move on to the marshmallow. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw some white in here. And then I'm going to throw some cream as well. This is iced coffee. Just kind of move it all around up at the top here. And then at the bottom. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger and blend all that together. And then we'll just use a squeegee to clean it off. Kind of just give it that kind of toasted look. Okay, we're just going to clean this off. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up and we'll dry that and then we'll be able to move on to the next. Oh, got red in it. Had red on my finger or on the squeegee or something. I think it's on my fingers. Let me go ahead and wipe it off. Let me fix that real fast before we start drying. Everything has red on it. Okay. Pull that up and we're going to let that dry. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of move these off to the side because I'm starting to get a little crowded. I don't think I'm going to use either one of those. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and I think we're just going to do all of the words in white. So I'm going to go ahead and just do these two and we'll dry them. So you want to make sure that you have no air bubbles or any fuzz from your towel, like big chunks of fuzz that will cause it to bleed. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do both of the words, get that done, and then we can start working on the chocolate and the graham cracker. So how's everyone doing? You guys aren't very talkative. If you guys are sharing or sprinkling the video out there, do make sure to put it in the comments so that I can get you into the drawing for our monthly drawing. We give away, or I give away, a 5x7 transfer with a board. It also has 2 color packets, a squeegee. So it's a really nice kind of like sample, but full size, not just one of our little free sample kits. So you want to make sure to get into that if you are. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull this up and dry these 2 real fast. Thank you, Connie. So I will get you into the drawing. So I think for the chocolate, I'm just going to do straight brown. And then for the graham cracker, we're going to do brown and cream mixed together to kind of give it a more cookie look. So I'm just making sure that I've got this good and dry before I lay this transfer back down. And I got a lot of areas that I don't know if I'm moving too fast. Got a lot of areas I gotta clean up when we're all done. How's that baby doing? She's adorable, Gabby. Gotta let me know when you're back in town sometime. I want to see that baby. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay this one down here. And I'm just going to hit this one with some brown real fast. And then we'll dry it, and then we'll do the fun part. I love this full s'more, the one that's complete, because it's got all the different layers you can put on it. Awesome. Definitely let me know. Love to see you, and I know I want to see that baby. Feels like it's been forever since I've seen you, and it really has. Okay, so that is good and dry. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the graham cracker. So the graham cracker actually has 3 layers. So it has the crackers that we're doing right now, has the marshmallow, and then the melted chocolate. So I want to leave the all brown for the melted chocolate so that you can kind of tell the difference between the cracker and the chocolate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do mainly iced coffee, and we're going to add a little brown to it. Aw, thank you. I know. Let's see, you were there when Alex was born. So he is about to turn 11. No, he's about to turn 12. So it's been almost 12 years. And that's crazy to think of that. Okay, so we're going to hit I think I'm going to worry about the bottom just pretty much being the cream color. And then let's kind of do a hot mess effect here. So we're just going to kind of smear it around, and then I mainly want the cream. You're not a horrible friend. You moved. That is not your fault. But I love seeing the pictures that you post. It's good to see you doing so well out there. You're in Florida now, right? Okay, so we're just going to kind of do the hot mess effect where we're just kind of blending it all in together. Oh, this one has red on it. Getting red everywhere. And we're just going to kind of mix these back and forth to blend those together. I'm just going to hit this one down here too a little. Oh, you want Ohio? Oh, I don't know about that. Okay. Just gonna wipe all this off here. Make sure I got all my clumps off too. And then we will be done with this big transfer, and we'll put all of the little pieces on. Okay. There we go. So there is our big part. I'm just going to set this down here, get it out of the way. And I'm going to dry that before I accidentally put my finger in it. So before I move on, I want to show you guys how quick and easy it is to clean these up when you've messed up a little bit. So I've got a couple little smears that aren't too bad, but I just want to clean them up before I forget. So what I do is I've got pointed Q-tips. Man, I just have red everywhere. So I have pointed Q-tips, and I'm going to just get it a little wet, and we're just going to kind of run it along the bottom here. And kind of clean it up a little. So unfortunately I smeared it a little too much when I put that, because I laid it back down when I was trying to fix a spot I had missed. So just like that, you can clean it up pretty good. And I got a little bit of a bleed here, probably when I was trying to get that red off. So just like that, I'm able to get in there and get that cleaned off. And now we can move on to our layers. So there's a couple different things you can do to prevent pulling up your previous paste. So you can let it dry really, really good, or you can wax it, or you can kind of try and paste it again without really putting any pressure down. So what I like to do is make sure it's really dry. And I don't like not pressing down because it causes it to bleed sometimes. So I really like using our waxes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this again, make sure it's really, really good and dry. And then I'm going to just kind of finger wax over top. That keeps from the layered transfers sticking to it and pulling up the paste you already have on your board. Hey, Craig. So I'm just making sure that this is really good and dry before I put extra sticky transfers over top of it. I also over fuzz my transfers when I'm covering it with another one, because I want to make sure that it does not stick, especially when they're brand new transfers, because they come to you really sticky. So I know you probably can't see from this distance, but the big piece actually had a number 1 on it. It also has these little bullseyes that you can use to line up. And here you can see that this says 3 and the marshmallow actually says 2. So we're going to go ahead and grab our second transfer. We're going to go ahead and fuzz it a little bit. Fuzz it a lot, actually. And I'm going to use our wax. I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger and kind of go over all of it, because I don't want that transfer to stick. And this just helps prevent it from pulling this paste up that's already down. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that this is really good and fuzzed. And I'm going to go ahead and line it up with those 2 bullseyes, and I'm also kind of going to line it up with the graham cracker as well. Okay. Nope. There we go. So, and I am just going to do this one as just white. And then we'll dry and wax this. We won't have to hit the graham cracker again, but I will hit the marshmallow with the wax. And there's our marshmallow. Just put it back on its backing and move it off to the side. I'm going to dry this. And next we have the melted chocolate that will be coming out of it as well. And I want to make sure it's really good and dry, because I do not want it to pull up. Yes. Thank you, Craig. Yeah, I just got, unfortunately, I didn't realize you guys could actually see my packing stuff. But Scott went and got me a big piece of wood for the top of it, and I'm just using bookshelves for the desk. And it works so much nicer, because when I was sitting down trying to do all this, it was like I was constantly standing up to try and reach things, and it was just easier to already be standing. There we go. So we're just going to hit this one with the brown now. It's a clean one. My next live, I'm actually going to show you guys how I use my decal cutting machine to make t-shirts with our inks. I forgot to wax it. Oh, but it came up okay. I didn't get it all the way up to the graham cracker though. Okay, I'm going to dry this real fast and do one more quick layer on it because I got it too far down. And I don't like the white line you can see at the top. So I'm just going to line it back up and try and hit that white line at the top. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Well, that's a good idea. You could probably just tuck it underneath the tabletop and have it hang down in the front so you guys don't see all that. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this mainly because I'm going to be reaching over and I don't want to put my elbow or anything into it. So I'm just going to make sure all of this is dry. And now we are going to do our stick with a marshmallow sticking out the top of it. What do you guys think so far? I see some smiley faces, thumbs up, hearts. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and fuzz this here real fast. Now we'll put our stick on here. And I think I'm going to do the hot mess effect again on the stick with the brown and the tan, or the iced coffee. Except for this time, I'm going to use more brown than iced coffee. Like the iced coffee I used more here. This time I'm going to use more brown. And we'll just add a little bit of iced coffee to it. So we're here, we really wanted our straight line so that we can kind of rub it all together. Here we're just kind of throwing it together. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the iced coffee to this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just smear all this around. Make sure you have all of the silk screen covered. And all of these transfers are reusable, so I will just be able to wipe this off, wash the transfers. I just pretty much wipe them off with like a Clorox wipe. I try and get them when they're still a little wet so that they're easier to clean, but you can clean them when they're been dry too if you want to wait a couple days or something. It's just harder. And if it's a real detailed piece that has a lot of like small details to it, the paste is really hard to get out of those small little areas without having to rub too hard. And then once you rub really hard, I'm always afraid I'm going to lose my adhesive. And there's our stick. Okay, so I'm going to dry that, and then we can throw our marshmallow up at the top. And for the marshmallow, I'm going to do the kind of the same effect that I did with the big marshmallows. And I'll show you guys how easy it is to clean our transfers. Okay. Since I'm going to be kind of layering it on the top a little bit, because I'm going to make it look like the stick is all the way through it, I'm just going to wax, maybe, wax the top. Oh, there it is. Wax the top of the stick a little bit. And I really try to get it just like on the paste, because sometimes it'll make it look a little oily around your paste, and I don't want the wax to show. I just want it to cover the wax. Okay, give her a big hug for me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and kind of do this one crooked a little bit. And we're going to start with the white. I'm going to do this a little bit thicker because I really don't want that stick to show through. And I'm going to grab just a little bit of our cream and put that on both sides. Just a little bit. And then I will use my finger to kind of blend that around, and then we'll use the transfer or the squeegees to clean that up. So this is just another example of the ombre. Ombre is very messy though. Get it all over the place. Yes, you know, my mom loves s'mores. Like, it's something she always had, still always has. I actually just got a picture a couple days ago of her making s'mores in the microwave, which she does on a regular basis. So when I see one like this, it reminds me of her. For Christmas, we actually got her a s'mores maker where, oopsie, it came up anyway. A s'more maker that, like, is for the kitchen table. Let's see if I can get this to lay down. Ooh, that time it didn't come back up. There we go. There's like this little mini campfire kind of thing, but just like a burner, and you can roast marshmallows. So s'mores always been kind of a thing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and dry this, and we are done. I'm going to go ahead and I'll take some pictures and post it so you guys can see the finished product, because I know it's kind of far away. You can kind of see it. With all the details and the different effects that we did. And I'm going to clean my transfers real fast and show you guys how easy it is to clean our transfers. So there is our I Love You s'more. So this is a great one for like summer, but if, let's say you guys get a board and you have a board, you hang it in your house, you are sick of seeing I Love You S'more, and you want to switch it out, this is a great product to where you don't have to go and find a new board. You've already got the spot on your wall. You know you like it there. But you're just wanting a new design. This is a great way of changing your home decor without having to go and find all new products. Trying to find a whole new board, but then you got this one, whole new picture, then you have this one just sitting around. You can easily just wipe it off and start a whole new one, and you've got whole new decor. Hi, Harpy. So that is our Love You S'more. And I'll just put that right there for now while we clean some transfers. Hopefully that stays. Whew, that's a big one for that little easel. So I'm going to clean these up here real fast. Does anyone have any questions? So this weekend, I'm going to make some shirts. So I will probably jump on a live at some point. I want to show you guys how you can use our transfers for not just chalkboards. You can use them on wood. You can use them on pretty much everything. But we also have our inks to where you can use them for t-shirts. And you can just heat press it, and it is permanent. But I also want to show you how we can, if you have like, most people have like crickets. I've got what's called a zing. It's like an industrial cutter. But I want to make some t-shirts showing you how to use your cutter to make decals that you can use with our ink transfers. So it's kind of a how you can make everything all in one. You can also use decals to make chalkboards too. So I want to show you that another day too. One of the other designers that I am friends with likes to use that, and they do almost like a sponge paint with it. And it's really cool, especially those like silhouette Disney ones that have like this paint splash effect on it. So we're going to do some of those this weekend, I think, too. So I will get all of those cut out on my cutter, and we will do a live with those. Just get all this put away, and let's clean some transfers real fast. So the first thing as I do is I wet my board down because I don't want them to stick to the board. I actually did that accidentally one this weekend, and I lost the transfer because it overstuck to it and all the green stayed behind. So I wet the board, and I just lay down all my transfers. Since we've got a couple that are the same size, I'm just going to write on the back of them real fast. This is our chocolate, and this is our marshmallow. So does anyone have any questions, or is there anything else you guys want to see? I'm happy to show anything more. Where did I put my stick? Oh, it fell. It looks like pretty much everyone has jumped off. So I'm just going to clean these real fast. If anyone jumps on and has any questions, we can do that. I'm just going to clean these here real fast, and we're going to call it a night. So thank you for everyone that joined this evening. So I might be throwing a little online Memorial Day party this weekend. So keep your eye out for that. If you're watching this in a replay, hit hashtag replay into the comments just to keep it moving. Alright, keep watching all my Facebook pop-ups pop up. So just like that, just by wiping the back a little bit, I actually remove all of the fuzz from our towel. And it brings all of that adhesive right back. Shoot. I'm just going to put it back onto its backing, and then I'm just going to lay it off to the side and let it dry. Okay, and just like that, you've got a clean transfer. Try not to fold your transfers. How you doing, Harpy? So if you're just jumping on, I'm just cleaning my transfers. We just got done doing I Love You S'more. And I'm cleaning my transfers from that. But if you are jumping on and want to see anything in particular, we can do that. Or we'll just go ahead and call it a night. We are going to have a little bit of fun stuff this weekend. I'll probably do a live. I want to show some stuff, how you can use some of your other crafting things with our transfers to make them unique. Clean this one, and I'll probably just clean the big one off since we don't have many people on. But this is literally how easy it is to clean them, and you can use these transfers over and over again. They say 8 to 10 uses, but I know I've got some, and if you watch me all the time, I say it all the time. I've got some that I know I've used at least 20 times. Okay, and just like that, all of our smaller transfers are clean, and I will do the large one off the live, so you guys don't have to stick around and watch that. Like I said, this weekend, we'll have a little giveaway going for Memorial Day. Just have to get that posted. It will be on my VIP page, most likely, but I normally post something about it on my business page and then share it over with the link to get to my VIP page so you know how to see it. Just lay these off to the side to dry. So keep an eye out for that. Do a little game, and then it'll end with a giveaway at the end of the weekend. Whoops. So we just got done with Love You S'more. Oof. And I'm just cleaning my transfers real fast before we get off. I got some people jumping on. They say if you are on right now and want to see anything, let me know. I can definitely show you if there's anything you've been wanting to see that I haven't done recently. My board is wet so that the transfer doesn't overstick, and I'm just spraying it with a little water and cleaning it off. This weekend we will have a sale going on with a little bit of a giveaway at the end. So keep your eye out for that. And I'm also going to show you guys how to use some other crafting materials to make your projects unique. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let this soak for a second while I get everything shut down. If you have any questions and you're watching this in a replay, please hashtag replay. You can message me anytime. You can comment on the video and I will get back to you, or you can message me direct. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I'll see you guys later.